Israeli citizenship to a non-biological son of an Israeli citizen. This is the subject matter of this video, and behind this subject matter there's a very interesting story that I will share with you. This story is basically a case I personally handled. It's regarding an Israeli citizen that met a Bolivian woman in Peru and married her. They had a child together. They raised this child together, and unfortunately, the Bolivian woman passed away. The Israeli therefore wanted to return to Israel with his son, and he asked the consulate, the embassy, how he can get citizenship for his child. They told him that the modus operandi to get this done is to submit a paternity lawsuit via the family court in Israel. So he submitted a paternity lawsuit via the family court in Israel, and the court transferred the case to a lab that conducts DNA tests. So the father and the child submitted DNA samples, and the lab reached its results. And the results, lo and behold, were that he is not the actual father. Biologically, he's not the father. Of course, it was a shock to him, but the mother isn't even alive anymore. And this, his son, this child, has no parent alive on earth other than this Israeli citizen. And our client here, the Israeli citizen, we're not mentioning names due to confidentiality, but our client was not willing to neglect his son in any way. In his view, psychologically, this is his son. He raised him from day one, and he considers him his son, and this child considers the Israeli citizen as his father. Actually, the biological father is non-existent. No one knows who he is, where he is, and he probably doesn't even know that he has a biological son. Basically, what happened was that the Interior Ministry wasn't willing to give his child citizenship and told him to go to Peru or Bolivia and to adopt officially the child, and only after he adopts the child he can get the child citizenship. So our client went to the courts in Peru, and the judges there told him that it's not possible to adopt his son because he's the father. On the birth certificate, he's registered as the father. And this is basically a presumption, a legal presumption, that fathers are registered as fathers without any scientific test. Meaning the father that's present in the hospital when the woman gives birth is registered as a legal presumption as a father, and no one ever checks scientifically to see whether this is actually the father. And the de facto father is therefore legally the father that presents himself as a father at the time of birth. So basically, he wasn't able to adopt the child. He went back to the Interior Ministry. They weren't willing to register his son as a citizen, and then he approached our firm, and I represented him. I went to the family court. I submitted a lawsuit to still recognize him as a father on a psychological basis and on a declarative basis because he is the father. The family court agreed with me, recognized him as the father, and then the Interior Ministry was obliged to grant his son citizenship. So this is basically the story. If you have any further questions relating to immigration to Israel, you can feel free to contact us, and we'll be happy to be of assistance. Thank you for your time.